Hey Scorpio, it's Meg with Padmes, and I'm doing your mid-month energy check. And we're talking to Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And I'm calling in our angels and guides of the highest vibrations of love and light, because I don't want to talk to anybody else. Woo. You got two coming out already here. And actually, I'm hearing that this is going the other way. So, yep, done shuffling. So Scorpio, let's see what is going on with you for your mid-month energy check. And we'll get some clarifiers here. Oh my gosh, you have a lot going on. Okay, Scorpio, the first thing that I'm noticing is the Tower in the big picture. So the big picture is talking about some blow you out of the water type of change. This is also an epiphany. So some kind of great epiphany is having to do with the big picture of your mid-month energy. So that doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing or a scary thing. Sometimes people think that it is because change is scary, but sometimes it's a great epiphany. Sometimes blow you out of the water is winning the lottery. So let's see what's going on. And the next thing that I'm seeing, however, is the Nine of Cups reversed, which is underlying everything. So this is kind of the subconscious place where everything is. And it's like, my wishes and dreams have not necessarily come into fruition the way I have had them in my mind, the way I have had them planned. So let's take a look at this. Your higher self is talking about Empress energy that is reversed. And this Empress energy that's reversed from your higher self is talking about your self-worth. So Scorpio, your higher self is wanting you to look at your self-worth and how you see yourself, what you tell yourself that you deserve. And the Seven of Pentacles just jumped out when we're talking about the Empress in your higher self. So this is all about it's like what you surround yourself with is what your life is going to be filled with. What you surround yourself with is going to be, it's kind of like when people say the 5 people that you surround yourself with are your best friends. You're the culmination of everyone that you surround yourself with, the closest people to you. It's like the things that you put around yourself, the things that you surround yourself with are what your energy is. So be careful about who you're hanging out with and where you're going and what's around you and all of that. But also, what are you putting around you that could be perhaps even upgraded or some kind of deeper level of connection around you? Interesting. Okay, we'll come back and we're going to clarify that a little bit more, but let's keep going. So your angels and guides are talking about some kind of rite of passage, but it's some kind of rite of passage that it's like you're not letting it move through. You're not letting it happen. So all of this coming together, it's like there's this huge epiphany, there's this huge change. My wishes and dreams didn't come in like I wanted them to. I'm not completely acknowledging my worth. And it's like you are continuing to validate unworthiness somehow within yourself and not moving through this rite of passage for some reason. All right, let's look up at the heart of the situation. Here you are coming in as the King of Cups or the masculine energy. And this has to do with really being in touch with your emotions, having a huge heart, having a big heart, and being able to identify those emotions, being able to be in touch with your emotions and communicate them clearly, easily, and effortlessly to other people. And it's crossed with the Four of Swords, which is kind of taking a break. It's like, I'm taking a break from my emotions. I'm taking a break from feeling anything. I'm taking a break from being in my adult self with my emotions. I'm literally sleeping and not paying attention to them or not dealing with them. I'm not dealing with my emotions right now. So happening now into the near future, Scorpio, this is talking about the 10 of Pentacles reversed. This is some kind of completion energy. It's some kind of completion energy, and it has to do with, I want to say home and household, but this is about legacy. This is about all these resources, time, energy, effort, love, money, information. This is also about stable relationships and stable group and family dynamics, and it's reversed. So something is toppled over, and it's right next to this Tower card. So what is that? We'll get to that with a clarification. Let's see. What needs to be released is some kind of non-truth. I'm going to say non-truth. It could be a bold-faced and terrible lie, but it could be something that you're literally not looking at emotionally. It's some kind of truth that you're not acknowledging. And then what's in the resistance is old stuff. Here's judgment. It's reversed. What's in your resistance is connecting and holding on to the past and past relationships and past lessons already learned. So your higher self is saying, I'm resistant to these past lessons. I'm resistant to going backwards. So the momentum here is going forward and starting something new. There's some kind of desire for that. So let's look at past, present, future, Scorpio. In the past, there has been some imbalance. When I see Temperance reversed like this is also some kind of imbalance. It could be like some kind of addiction or some kind of doing something more than is healthy. And that can be anything. It can be shopping. It can be drugs. It can be wine. It can be relationship stuff. It could be, shopping. Okay. So what's happening now in present time, we've got the Ace of Cups reversed, and we also have the Page of Wands reversed. So there's some type of love there's like this new beginning in love, that there's a big challenge or this big halt or some kind of a big speed bump in the way of this new love. And the Page of Wands reversed is the door being closed. So there's this big offer of love that has been kind of squashed. So looking at the trajectory, Scorpio, here is the Devil card. So talk about Temperance being reversed. Sometimes I see Temperance as even recovery when it's right side up, and it's reversed. So in the past, it's like there's been some overindulgence. And then here in the trajectory, we're talking about some kind of obsession, some kind of addiction, some kind of codependence, some kind of themes and patterns that aren't serving you. And this is moving forward into the future. So I am super curious to see what kind of clarification is going to happen here, Scorpio. I want to look at your advice first. Your advice is the Five of Pentacles. This is literally where it's your higher self asking you to look at where you are keeping yourself outside. Where are you being left out in the cold? Where do you feel left out in the cold? Where do you feel rejected? Where are you not asking for help or sanctuary when you could be asking for help and sanctuary? Where are you not trusting others when you could be trusting others? How are you putting yourself on the outside? Wow. Okay, let's take a moment and clarify some of this. So the first thing, whoa, how very interesting. The first thing that I was going to clarify is this Tower card. And the Tower card comes out and it's clarified by the moon. This is really interesting because Cancer just had the moon card come out in the big picture. This is mom energy, mother energy, and this is also really, really deep emotions. It can be hidden emotions. It can be secrets. It can be things in your dreams, in your subconscious that you don't necessarily want to look at, which is kind of what's going on. in the heart of the situation, but there's something that is being really brought to your attention, and it very well might have to do with how you're keeping yourself on the outside, but some kind of deep maternal energy, deep nurturing energy. Also, that would be the type of energy that you use to soothe yourself when you are feeling like you can't express your emotions. It is a self-soothing. Okay, so clarifying the Nine of Cups reversed, these wishes and dreams that have not come into fruition the way you've wanted them to. Scorpio, and here we have the Eight of Pentacles. This does have to do, it looks like, with something that you have wanted to work on or that you have worked on for a while. This could be work related. This could be relationship related. This could be how you are dealing with revealing your inner soul, your inner self to someone else. This could be how you are being emotionally intimate with others. This is you working on it, learning about it. How is this not coming into fruition? Right. This is you. Wow. Okay. And so this big epiphany about these deep-seated emotions, working on this, your dreams and wishes not coming in, it has a lot to do with how you lick your wounds after battles. This would be broken heart and disappointed heart, devastation from relationships ending. Okay. Looking at the heart of the situation, this King of Cups and this Four of Swords, not dealing with my emotions. Let's take a look at that. Right. And again, this is, I feel like I'm doing this on my own. I feel like I'm in a relationship with myself. I feel like I'm the only one here who has a heart even, which is interesting. Okay. So there's something about not sharing, again, not sharing your emotions with others. You're not dealing with your emotions, but you know that they're there. And this is definitely not sharing with others. This is keeping all of your emotions to yourself, your real emotions, your true emotions. So this 10 of Pentacles happening now and into the near future. This group dynamics being overturned. This could literally be a family. It could be a family in grief. A family in grief, a group in grief, dynamics being overturned, legacy being overturned, some kind of, I want to say financial, but resources, and then some kind of thinking that there are some resources that aren't there. This would be a foundation of resources, and reversed, it's like there's some kind of dislodging of those resources. So thinking that they're there, especially next to this pull the rug out from under you Tower card, thinking that something's there, thinking that there's some stability where there isn't any stability. Okay. And I want to ask your higher self, what is going on with this Empress, with this worthiness? Ooh, I want to say worthiness condition, which is interesting, but this feeling of surrounding yourself with perhaps things that are triggering your unworthiness or creating some kind of environment around you that has this unworthiness energy. It's like continuing to nurture some unworthiness, whether other people feel that way or you feel that way. And then when I asked to clarify it, we've got the 10 of Cups. So this is complete emotional satisfaction. So what this looks like too is that you're dealing with someone who you're feeling like perhaps is not appreciative. It's like you're nurturing someone and it's an empty thing. It's like you continue to nurture someone and it goes unappreciated. And the Six of Swords reversed, that's not going through. this not moving forward away from difficult times. It's like putting yourself in the fire, putting yourself in the middle of the whirlpool. It's like not allowing the rite of passage to happen. And then this is opening the door. Opening the door to the rite of passage. Opening the door. Wow. Okay, so here we have the page, and the page jumps to the king. It's like we open the door, and instead of even going through the steps to get to the king, we immediately walk into the adult. It's like the adult taking care of the inner child. Opening the door and then taking it from there, taking over. This is like being the king of your castle. The person, like the person who is taking on their own domain. That's really interesting. So we've got somebody over here that's not appreciative. It's like you're offering all of these things or watering this garden, making this beautiful space, and opening the door, not moving past this rite of passage. I feel like I want to come back to this even more in a little bit, but I need to move on first. But here you are, the King of Wands, who's like, this feels a little aggressive to me. It's a little aggressive. It's like you gently open the door with a Page of Wands, but then there's an aggressive energy that feels really masculine, an aggressive masculine energy taking over the space. Okay. So let's move forward and come back to that. The Ace of Swords reversed. In the release this, there's some kind of untruth that needs to be released, or it needs to be exposed. It's like you need to expose it. So, yeah, and it has to do with not following your highest and your greatest potential. It has to do with not following your star, your North Star. It has to do with not being able to heal until you expose the truth. I feel like this has something to do with keeping all of these emotions to yourself, Scorpio. And then this resistance to going backwards. There's some kind of communication that's not happening. So there's emotional communication that's not happening. There's this covering up of the truth. And there's some kind of not wanting to go back in the past, not wanting to communicate about the past. I even want to say past consciousness, which is interesting. Okay, it's like a past state of mind, not wanting to go backwards. All right, I want to clarify this Five of Pentacles. Oh, wow. And what do we get? The Five of Pentacles. Clarified with the Five of Pentacles. Your higher self is like, look at where you are keeping yourself isolated. And look where you've done that in your life. This is a pattern of isolating yourself. It's almost like you feel rejected, but you're not necessarily being rejected. You're feeling rejected, but you're not being really rejected. It's like whoever you feel like is rejecting you might be going through their own process. Here's the Hanged Man. It's like they're just going through their process and figuring out what it is that they need to figure out, how they're feeling or what they're doing. So while they're doing that, you might be feeling rejected, but this looks like it's happened more than once. And I feel like it has something to do with not wanting to go back in the past and look at this stuff, not wanting to deal with your emotions, Scorpio. Okay, so let's look at past, present, and future. So we have the Temperance reversed. We have this imbalance. We have this balance that wants to happen, but there's a hard time balancing all this emotion. Two cards are coming out. First, we have the Five of Wands reversed. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles. So here we have feeling like you're rejected or keeping yourself out in the cold. But then here we have purposely being independent. It's like, again, with the boundaries, it's like saying it's easier to be independent and to myself and keep all these things to myself rather than have intimacy, have this emotional intimacy. And so what happens here in present time is this loss of love and closing of the door to love. Ooh. All right. So in clarifying that, here we have this. It's like, I'm a victor after this battle. I'm a victor after this battle, but it doesn't feel like a victory. It doesn't feel like a victory. I've lost love. I've closed the door. Somehow I'm a victor after this battle, but this doesn't feel like an award somehow. And then we've got this devil card, which ultimately is, you've got all this resistance to the past and communicating about past things, yet this devil is all about patterns and themes from the past that don't serve you that you hold on to. Geez, Scorpio, what is going on? Let's clarify that devil card. Right, I'm not emotionally ready to move forward, but I'm also not emotionally dealing with a bunch of stuff. Here's some like serious emotional trauma, Scorpio, that you are dealing with mid-month here. Good grief. All right, I want to get some more clarification and I'm going to use a different deck. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to use this one. All right, so let's look at what's happening now and into the near future. Here's this Ten of Cups reversed and this Page of Pentacles reversed. And it's right next to this hidden emotions and some big tower. I really feel like somebody kind of found you out. Like somebody scratched the surface and saw something emotional and you didn't like that. And so you isolated yourself. It's like you didn't want to share that part of yourself, Scorpio. Very private, keeping that stuff way under wraps. Okay, so what's going on happening now and into the near future for you, Scorpio? Right. You are like, here's the Knight of Pentacles, which is the slowest moving knight in the deck. And he's reversed. So this is like everything has halted. Everything has stopped. There is no back and forth with any kind of resources at all. It's just stopped. Okay. So let's look at the heart of the situation. Yep. And again, we have the Nine of Pentacles and we have the King of Wands. The King of Wands is down here too. So this is that kind of like aggressive energy. So I want to say it's like super protective energy. So there's like this super protective energy of the home. That's what it feels like. And this is even being aggressive to the point, this is really defending, what I'm hearing is your own honor, defending your own honor somehow. But this honor, this King of Wands reversed is sometimes super not nice. So if you feel like you're being attacked, and this is you defending your right to be independent and have your own resources around you and kind of just stay to yourself, be reclusive, sort of. This is unplugging from, I even want to say other people, you know, group dynamics coming up, unplugging, being by yourself. I'm really wondering too, Scorpio, if you are in some kind of great grief right now for all of this emotional energy that's being hidden away or internalized. That's what it seems like. Okay, so I want to look at what you're needing to release, what needs to be released, this truth that needs to come out around this healing process. And this is old stuff. So as much as you don't want to talk about things happening in the past, this is stuff that you already know about. It's a pattern that you're well aware of that's happened in the past. So you know this about you. Okay, Scorpio, let's see. Let's look at past, present, future, clarifying this again. In the past, it's easier to be by myself than to deal with this somehow. And again, we've got this victory. It's easier. I feel better when I just keep this to myself. And what it looks like, Scorpio, is you feel better keeping it to yourself when you feel betrayed. And when you feel betrayed by people that you love, this is about being vulnerable. Here we have the 10 of Swords and the 10 of Cups. It's like it's easier to end something than to continue on. It's also you keeping yourself from happiness, keeping yourself from love. This is about your wishes and dreams not coming true. And it has a lot to do, Scorpio, with feeling like your heart's been broken, but not being emotionally intimate with others. Don't shoot the messenger, Scorpio, but this is a deep one. Really. I mean, there's some kind of huge tower moment epiphany that is the big picture of this energy mid-month, and it's really deep emotions. And I know, Scorpio, when somebody gets that close, it can be really super scary. And there's this really heightened charge of energy that's super protective. All right, let's look at the outcome, Scorpio. Wow. And here we have this ultimate disappointment that you're dealing with. I'm not emotionally ready to move forward yet. And this Devil card is, I don't want to look at these patterns and themes that are so hurtful to me. I just want to ask your higher self, Scorpio, why? Why is this so painful? Why is this so hard? And it's like, I just want to keep this to myself. I don't want to talk about it. Scorpio, you're like, I don't want to talk about my feelings. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want anybody else to know. I want to ask your advice. So your advice is talking to you about looking at where you have put yourself on the outside when you felt rejected, when perhaps you weren't rejected, somebody was just in their own process. But I want to ask more about this, because this outcome of feeling so betrayed and alone and not ready to emotionally move forward, but not sharing these feelings with anybody too, this feels like great grief. And I just want to ask your higher self for some advice. Your higher self is saying there's some karmic injustice that needs to be righted. And there are two more cards that want to come out. Wow. Right. Wow. Scorpio, look at this. There's some karmic injustice that wants to be righted. It's like your advice is to look into that karmic injustice and do something about it. This is the Devil card that you got in your trajectory, but it's reversed. This is like recognizing those patterns and themes that don't serve you, those patterns from the past, and illuminate them. This is that Moon. It's like bring them out, illuminate them. It's safer to share those than to keep them covert. Wow. And the card that just flew out is this 10 of Pentacles again. So where it has happening now and into the near future when it's reversed, this came out sideways, which means a challenge with this. So there's a challenge with group dynamics. There's some sort of a challenge. It's like, yeah, there might be a challenge with doing this, but there's a reason to do it. Keeping it all bottled up inside of you is causing, well, it's causing this epiphany. But I don't feel like you need to go through a tower moment in order for this to come out. But I think that that's what you're setting up for yourself if you're not paying attention to how you're processing this. I know it's like, I want to internalize this. I want to internalize this. I don't want to talk about this. But something needs to be addressed, Scorpio. Something needs to be talked about. Let me just ask your higher self. Is there anything your higher self wants your personality self to know about this? It's like, I'm not being really, really clear with what my intentions are. And your angels and guides are like, what you really need to do is go into your heart and figure out what these intentions are and get clear about them. What is it that you want emotionally for yourself? And I'm hearing, I want to be loved. If you want to be loved, you have to get really clear with what it is that you're asking for. You have to get really clear with what it is that you're telling the universe. Because what it looks like right now is you're telling the universe that it's okay not to be emotionally intimate. But what that means is that's what you are surrounding yourself with. You're surrounding yourself with that feeling, that unworthiness. It's like that whole quote, you get the love that you think you deserve. And if you're surrounding yourself with unworthiness, you're not getting the love that you deserve. You're not getting the love that you need. Oh, Scorpio. I want to ask your angels and guides for some guidance from the Angel Oracle. Go ahead and ask some questions, Scorpio. This is some intense stuff for your mid-month energy check. This is some intense energy, Scorpio. So let me know what is going on with you. But I'm going to pull 3 of these. So ask 3 yes or no questions, and I'll pull 1 card for each one and clarify it. So Scorpio, here's the first card for your first question. And that looks like a yes. So success. And clarifying that first question. This is about going inward, doing things alone, which is funny. Whatever you're asking about, this whole thing is about internalizing everything. It's like there's some kind of yes about not asking for help with whatever it is that you just asked about. But this whole reading is about the opposite of that, the need to express your feelings and what it is that you're going through, and just like putting the grief out on the table, whatever it is. All right, here's your next yes or no question, Scorpio. Let go. Let go. Let go of the past. Right. This has to do with whatever, I really feel like this has to do with this, I want to say untruth, or just not uncovering the truth or not expressing the truth. But it's like, let go of this thing that you've been holding on to, that you've been stalemating, that you've been keeping and incubating and not processing. Like, it's got to go. I'm also saying this is a no. And this is your third question, Scorpio. Don't stop. I feel like this is a yes. And we're going to clarify that. This one wants to come out. Wow, don't stop. This is a yes. And here's the Knight of Cups. Yay. This like really is like, pursue your emotions. Pursue the state of being in love. Pursue your emotions. That doesn't mean stuff your emotions. It means seek them out. This is a quest for that, a quest for love. Don't stop. Don't stop. Okay. And I'm also really feeling that grief again. Don't shut down because you're experiencing grief or you're experiencing fear and creating that isolation. Geez, Scorpio, let me know how this goes. Let me know how this resonates. And I will talk to you toward the end of the month. I'm sending you so much love and so many good vibes and so much Reiki, Scorpio. Okay. See you soon.